Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to give you 12 latest defense updates. Number 1, NAL to test scale down high altitude platform soon. National Aerospace Laboratories will carry out the first flight of the scale down model of the high altitude platform in May this year. That will fly up to 3 kilometers, that is around 9,842 feet, and will act as a technology demonstrator for the bigger HAP the company plans to develop. A fully fledged HAP will be able to fly up to 18 to 20 kilometers, which NAL claims can be used by the local civilian agency to establish emergency communication system in disaster hit areas, to check pollution and to map development activities in the area. Next, HAL enhances the repair and overhaul capability of the Sukhoi Su-30 MK1 aircraft. HAL has increased the repair and RoH capability of the Sukhoi Su-30 MK1 aircraft from 16 to 20 every year, and the earlier turnaround time, which was 30 months, has now been reduced to 15 months, which comes as a boost to Su-30 MK1 fleet, often called as the backbone of the fighter fleet with IAF. HAL had set up the Su-30 MK1 RoH facility at its Nasik plant, where the facility provides full maintenance support and enhances the serviceability of the Sukhoi 30 MK1 fleet throughout its life cycle. Next, opinion. Can Indigenous MTA and HTA liberate India's strategic airlift capability? It seems Indian Air Force is again in the mood for the purchase of another transport aircraft that eventually will replace the aging fleet of Soviet-era AN-32 short-haul transporter that has procured in the mid-80s after recently concluding a deal for the purchase of Airbus C295M tactical transport aircraft that will be manufactured in the country. IAF is looking to procure nearly 80 medium-lift military transport aircraft that will replace 118 AN-32 short-haul transporter and seems to have dropped plans to procure more C295 that are classified in the same class of aircraft, but instead it has decided to go for a plane with nearly double the cargo carrying capacity than AN-32 it intends to replace. Next, Rolls-Royce working on issues faced by Adour Mk 871 engines powering India HAWK AJTs. The Rolls-Royce turboneka Adour Mk 871 turbofans engine that is manufactured by Rolls-Royce in collaboration with Safran subsidiary Adour Mk has been having trouble with its turbine blade lifespan issue that lead to the grounding of the Royal Air Force HAWK T2 training aircraft after engine problems were identified. Next, first woman officer posted at Siachen hopes to inspire girls to join army. Who's that lady? It's Captain Shiva Chauhan, who became the first woman officer to be posted at the world's highest battlefield in Siachen Glacier on Monday, expressed hope that more girls will join Indian Army after her accomplishment. Captain Shiva Chauhan of Fire and Fury Sappers became the first woman officer to be operationally deployed in Kumar Post, post completion of Arduous training at the highest battlefield of the world, Siachen. Next, Lieutenant Governor said will regularize colonies of people displaced from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. asking the people from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to not consider themselves as refugees. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha on Monday said this administration will take steps to regularize their colony as it's our responsibility to secure their rights. He also asserted that POK is an integral part of India and that the dream of Akhand Bharat, undivided India, would come true in the coming year. Next. Australian PM to visit India, set to strengthen ties in rare earth sector. India is likely to announce significant investment in the rare earth sector in Australia during the visit of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese in Delhi beginning Wednesday. Mr. Albanese, who arrives in Ahmedabad on Wednesday when India celebrates Holi, is also expected to participate in the Festival of Colours, watch the India-Australia cricket test match with PM Narendra Modi before heading for Mumbai to engage with the business community and later to Delhi for bilateral talks. Next. India's Su-30 MK1 sported with SDR Antenna. India's Su-30 MK1 fleet has begun receiving software-defined radio SDR supplied by Israeli company Rafael, which won a contract from the Indian Air Force in 2020 for 400 software-defined radios SDR to upgrade its entire fleet of Sukhoi 30 MK1, Mirage 2000 and LCA Tejas. Software-defined BNET AR Global Link airborne radios will be integrated into the majority of fighter jets so that pilots can communicate with one another without being eavesdropped on by the rival pilots in the area. Next, Tata engineers to learn how to assemble C-295 in Poland. 24 of Tata engineers and technicians will visit the Airbus facility in Poland as part of their advanced training schedule, which will be imparted in the country so that they can assemble C-295 transport aircraft for the Indian Air Force back home in India. As part of the contract, 16 aircraft will be delivered in flyaway condition and 40 will be manufactured in India by the Indian Aircraft. Airbus facility in Spain is where 16 aircraft will be manufactured and first aircraft already has completed its first engine run and waits clearance for first flight. Next, China plans to market the FC-1 Xiaolong with a Chinese engine. Due to ongoing economic and military sanctions on Russia, China's Chengdu Aircraft Corporation (CAC), which developed the FC-1 Xiaolong, also known as the JF-17, has decided to market the fighter jet in the export market only with the Chinese Guizhou WS-13 class of engine, which is often known as reverse-engineered copies of the Russian RD-33 MK engines. Due to sourcing issues from Russia, Chengdu Aircraft Corporation has already offered Argentina FC-1 Xiaolong with Chinese Guizhou WS-13 engines and will now offer any potential operators of the FC-1 Xiaolong with the same issue after it faced multiple issues with Myanmar Air Force that was having issues procuring engine spare from Russia. Next, focus on combat readiness, tri-services synergy as top Navy meet begins. Enhancing India's naval prowess and boosting tri-services synergy are set to be focus of the Indian Navy biannual Commanders Conference on board the country's first indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant in the Arabian Sea today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will address the top naval commanders at the 40,000-ton ship that was commissioned into the Navy by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in September last. Next, sustaining the expansion of strategic relations between India and Southeast Asia. On February 22nd, the INS Sindhu Kesari became the first Indian submarine to dock in Indonesia. Given the submarines are a key component in a country's naval power projection, the submarine's presence in Southeast Asia represents the growing operational reach of the Indian Navy beyond the Indian Ocean. More importantly, Indonesia's accommodation of such a strategic progression represents a significant convergence of interest between Jakarta and New Delhi toward their vision of an inclusive, stable and rules-based Indo-Pacific region. A stark contrast to Indonesia's wariness of India's growing military capabilities more than 2 decades ago, given the lack of awareness and understanding between both sides at that time. Thank you.